Let's freaking go. Give me a let's go in the mother effing chat right now. First SEC victory. Let's go. We here at Power Hour LSU. If you're new, you know we do it 24/7, 366, baby. We don't do any other sports. We only do LSU football, okay? So the truth here is first things first, shout out to mother effing Luke Combs, the only person on College Game Day to pick LSU to win the game. Long neck ice cold beer never broke my heart, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Gotta love it. Let's freaking go. First SEC victory. Just let me see it, baby. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let's go. I don't care if it was ugly. I don't care if we were down 13-0. I don't care that I actually have had two of you message me saying, hey, that looked like we were playing a team, playing back-to-back road games. Mississippi State did look tired. They did drop a lot of passes. They did also muff a punt. So we did get the lucky brace tonight, but a win is a win. And what we have to understand is while I am not an end results person where I feel as if it is important how you play, ultimately this year is going to be a year of just finding a way to get it done, right? In just a minute, I did cut up a film study for us to look at here in just a second. The play of the game, Jayden making a dime of a throw to MALIK NABERS. Also, we are going to discuss the LSU defense, the LSU special teams unit getting bailed out by a bad penalty. But this has always been, and thank you, Van, for the biggest super chat of the night. I really appreciate it. This has always been Mike Leach's MO, right? He will find ways to lose the game. And the bottom line is this. Jayden missed a big throw to start the second half, a big one to MALIK in the back of the end zone. We did have some rough play, but the bottom line is Matt House was incredible tonight. And honestly, if you were to give an MVP, it should have gone to him because you could give it to B.J. Ojulari. I just saw Jacob Hester tweet out B.J. Ojulari was the player of the game. I agree. Especially after he missed a tackle on the first drive, he was unblockable the rest of the night. They not having Charles Cross anymore was big. You could give the game ball to Harold Perkins, who as a true freshman, I said leading up to this week, play Perk, play Perk, play Perk. He was amazing tonight. You can give him the game ball. You could give the game ball to Jay Ward, who was the best defensive player in my mind on the field tonight. Micah Baskerville, back-to-back great performances. Those players in particular played really well. Mekhi Gardner. But the truth is it should go to Matt House. His first year calling defensive plays, he was better than the other defensive coordinator, Zach Garnett, who also called a really good game tonight. So the truth here is there are a lot of game balls. Van wants to talk about the offensive line. We're going to talk about the offensive line. Are you kidding me? So you guys know I will miss on my evaluations. I will have opinions different than everybody else, but it looked like Emory Jones is a mother effing dude. And there was a reason why he was my number one rated player in Louisiana this cycle. He is a special athlete. He is a special talent. And it's crazy to think that his best play of the game was a tackle on punt team. You are witnessing something special. And tonight was the first night you really got to see what this guy is all about. I don't know him. I have relationships with some players on the team, as many of you know. But you guys know I'm a huge Emory Jones fan, and I have been singing this young man's praises for the longest. He is a special, special, special player. He's not good. He is special. And tonight, he was magnificent. And I give a game ball also to Brian Kelly and Brad Davis making a bold decision here to start Emory Jones in this spot. Now, how's he going to do versus Will Anderson and Dallas Turner? We'll save it for when that game comes. But the bottom line is those two players, Will Campbell and Emory Jones, are special. we're getting Lance Hurd next year. I'm really excited about that as well. But you witnessed the beginning of what is a fulcrum of your championship teams, which are bookend tackles, and they were phenomenal. They're going to have rough games. They're probably going to start the rest of the year. But that's a good thing about college football, right? You get lucky sometimes, and we got very lucky that Louisiana produced two great offensive linemen this cycle. So it's utterly amazing what those two players did tonight. So shout out to them. Van, thank you so much for wanting to bring up the offensive line. They were magnificent. There's no other way around it. And, well, they didn't get anything off in the first half. True, but as the game moved on, they were better. Now, was that a tired defense? Yes. Did Mississippi State do a lot to lose that game? They did, right? And we didn't play our best either, but we're going to get better. And like I said, I loved LSU in this spot because I thought Mississippi State wasn't going to play their best because of the back-to-back road game scenario. All you got to do is look historically. And this is going to be – I'll bring it up probably again later. Historically, it is tough to play that back-end road to back-to-back road game. It's brutal. It's just brutal on a college athlete. So let's talk Charles Turner. It's another great offensive lineman. It was good, right? Obviously, there were some false start timing things, but, you just kind of have to survive against that 3-3-5. Tyrus Wheat and those guys, give them a lot of credit. And honestly, and Van and I talk about this privately quite a bit. I've got to shut my mouth about Armani Goodwin. Did he have a rough start to the game? Yes, but he shut me up, right? If you get a 47-yarder to end it, was it the byproduct of really sloppy arm tackling? Yes. But he did house it, and he did steal the game for us. And the bottom line is Armani Goodwin deserves some love as well. Armani Goodwin and Josh Williams making big-time carries when the game was on the line. That's the thing. If you are reliable and you're on time and you can play, that's all that matters. So the bottom line is this. We get a W. We move on to next week. And, look, there's a lot to decipher. Jayden Daniels wants to be the hero too much. I don't think it's that, Tari. I just think for me, he's just not a thrower of the football. He's just not. Like, it's tough to look at someone like Jayden, who is an elite runner. And look, did he eat the ball a little too much? Yeah, there were some throws that he missed. We brought it up during the halftime show, but the bottom line is Jayden is playing at an extremely manageable level, right? And sometimes when you play an evenly matched team, Tari, it's what you do to not lose the game. And for me, the miss to MALIK in the end zone was a losable play, but we still got points out of the drive, right? Jayden had the fumble exchange turnover in the first half, but other than that, yes, when you miss throws, you do help your team lose the game. But the bottom line is it was great. The whole D-line and pass rush are the MVPs. BJ and Harold Perkins made Will Rogers look like he sold himself. Absolutely. Harold Perkins was phenomenal. And what I think sometimes people forget is it's not just about – because what they did, and I'll show it in the film study if I'm able to get to it tomorrow, they did something very interesting, and this is what Matt House did a good job of. So, in our defensive film study earlier this week, let me get the Michael B's film super chat here really quickly. Future is bright at O-line with Campbell and Emery being cornerstones for years to come. You and Van, very strong football minds. Got some synergy and clean up those penalties. Center Charles Turner is your center the rest of the year. Michael, thank you for your generosity. I do want to break down this play. I don't have the film cut up, but I will do it for the film study, okay? So just to break down some defensive line technique here, there is a difference between rushing from the end and rushing from the inside. The good thing about rushing from the inside is it is a more direct angle to the quarterback, right? It's, just physics. So what they did, Matt House did something very creative. He actually overloaded the offensive line's protection quite a bit. So he would put 3 guys covering just 3 gaps and just rushed from those. And that got Savion Jones the big sack. That schemed up some pressure. And then what he did was very interesting. And I don't have the cut up here. He actually put Harold Perkins and BJ Ojulari on the same side, where BJ Ojulari got his best sack of the night, where BJ was able to go one-on-one as a 3-tech, but he did it as a standing 3-tech. So in a 2-point stance, he was lined up over the guard, and because of the respect you have to give Harold Perkins on the outside, he was able to get a one-on-one, right? We were able to do that last year with Jaquan Roy, and BJ ate up that guard with a nice little swim move versus that guard. And you'll hear me reference this because this is what I did as a player, and I'm nowhere close to the talent of BJ Ojulari. But for me as a pass rusher, my favorite place to rush the quarterback is a 3-tech, where you get a one-on-one versus a guard more often than not. And what I think Matt House was thinking was, okay, let's do this. Let me put my best pass rusher on the team in an exotic alignment, and the defense won't know if Harold Perkins and Ojulari are going to twist. Are they going to loop? Are they going to back out? You get that. That's an Arkansas fan. They get excited to beat Missouri State. But but the bottom line is this. That was an excellent call by Matt House. So if you were to, for me, list the MVPs without rewatching the game, okay, the winner is Matt House. Matt House is your MVP, okay? I give him the game ball. He won us the game tonight. Very exotic stuff. Will Rogers was guessing all night. We made a lot out of the 3-3-5 defense. The bottom line is this. She is so happy about Arkansas beating Missouri State. Hey, look, when we got 3 natties, look, imagine if Bobby Petrino, knowing what he did, was about to pull the upset. I would be pretty excited. Yes, just bless him. Just bless those Arkansas fans. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and go calm her down a little bit. This is a very emotional time. I actually do have something cut up. If you love film studies, you're going to love this. Here it is for Power Hour LSU. The play. We need to get a sponsor for this. The play of the game. Play of the game right here by Jayden Daniels. I mean, look, we can say what we want about his throwing ability. This is such a good call. If they are going to press when we had been killing them on outs and shorter routes, you got to go over the top and take advantage of green grass, and that is exactly what Jayden Daniels does. Gets a little bit of a low-ish snap. Good protection right here to give Jayden just enough time to throw this football, and he throws an absolutely beautiful ball right here. And, you know, to help close this game out, Jayden's legs is what really won it. But this throw, I mean, just when you really needed it. That's the thing. You know, Jayden doesn't have to be the absolute best thrower. It doesn't have to be the prettiest at all times. But you can always find a way to get a W, and that's exactly what Jayden did tonight. Let's go. So there you go. Let me know if you guys like the film studies in the post game. Type Y for yes, type N for no. So there you go. Matt House is a goat. Good to see you again, Duke. Good to have you back, man. So we'll see. 2 winnable games before Tennessee. I am very concerned about Tennessee. First SEC win, babe. What's up, Antoine? What's up, Antoine? Let's go. Let's go. First SEC win, baby. This young team is growing together every week. Go Tigers. Gotta love it. Thank you so much, Antoine. I appreciate it. So what I'll do is I'll try and do as many film studies as I possibly can. I'll show the one earlier. Also, we are trying to get Slade Roy on the post-game show because, honestly, he made the play of the game. I give Slade Roy a big-time PHL shout-out. And, look, I know I'm biased because, well, we gave Slade Roy his only interview because PHL is the voice for the voiceless, and the voiceless oftentimes are your special teams units. So there you go. Look, now that we are excited about the win, let's be honest about a few things as well, okay? We do lack some throwing. Obviously, I didn't phrase that well at all. I wasn't something like amazing technical breakdown. We do lack some of that, right? But Jayden's a guy. Jayden's a guy. He may not be your absolute highest ceiling option. That's probably Walker Howard, but Jayden is the guy. So I will also say this: if you join the PHL Patreon tonight, once again, you're getting a Jayden Daniels card right there. Join the PHL T-shirt club tonight. You're getting a Jayden Daniels card. Gotta love it. Get Kayshawn going, and sky's the limit for this team. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So it's kind of hard, Kudade, to talk about any player without rewatching it. Yeah, it wasn't Kayshawn's best night, but then again, he's going up against. You can make the case Emmanuel Forbes is the best corner in the SEC. So we'll see. Music, you're just not going to give Jayden any credit. You're just not. Like, this guy just went out there and won a game for us. Once again, it's not the prettiest, but he played fine, right? He's the guy. He is the guy. He might not be the best guy, but you got to give him some credit. So yeah. Joe is suspended, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm behind Jayden as my QB. Why? Oh, I thought you were saying me. Why am I sad? I'm excited, man. We found a way to win a game. JD did not win the game for us, be honest. I mean, a lot of different factors played into this win, but did you not see all the third down completions, 4 consecutive third down completions? That throw that I just cut up for you versus, MALIK NABERS. Yeah, the quarterback is the guy that moves the needle more than anyone else. It might not be the prettiest, but not everybody's got a Bryce Young. Not everybody's got a Hendon Hooker. He found a way to get it done, right? Who was a better quarterback when the game was on the line? Was it Jayden Daniels or Will Rogers? Just answer that. Just answer that. So, third down run when they ate the play to Kayshawn and he had to break a tackle at the goal line? Are you kidding me? You're not going to give him any credit? You're not going to say he didn't win the game for us? Now, he wasn't the main reason. There was a lot of people, but you got to give him credit. You've got to give him credit. Feel like you have to go tempo earlier in the game with JD to get him going. NABERS was a state commit at one time as well. Yeah, it's amazing, right? The JoJo Earl thing didn't work out, and it worked out for the better. No quit attitude, baby. That's what you got to have. Exactly. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to win. And it's okay if you don't think Jayden's like the greatest quarterback or he's not a top 5 quarterback in the SEC, but he was fine. He was fine. Okay. And sometimes the mark of a good athlete isn't when you play. It's not if you're good. It's do you play well when it matters the most? Prediction. If he does not get injured, Daniels will be much improved at the end, and the haters will be saying they were behind him all season. Yeah. So, here's my opinion. He missed a lot of throws tonight. There was some really bad quarterbacking tonight. But at the same time, football is a complex sport where if a team on the other side makes mistakes, you could still go and try your best to figure it out. How many throws did he miss from the third quarter on out? He didn't miss many. Okay. And look, Malik was great. Sometimes when you mess up, like Malik did, you grow from it. So that's all there is to it. What's that? What's wrong?
80-yard punt return. 31-27.
What's this? How much time's left?
We got 9 minutes left.
Y'all better not let Bobby P beat you.
Bobby P's not going to beat us because he's finna go home in a neck brace. Don't even worry about it. Bye.
In a neck brace? He's not.
Neck brace.
Well, yeah, the blondes better watch out in Fayetteville, baby. Bobby P's going to be on the prowl.
He's not going to be on the prowl. He's finna go home sad.
Bobby P's going to
be mad, Carter. Do not make me mad.
Bobby P's going to be on the prowl tonight.
Carter, I swear to God, I will come in there and slap that hat off your head.
I better hide your kids, hide your wife. Bobby P's come. Bobby P, if he, especially if he doesn't get the dub, hide your Harleys. I think you guys are like this right here, a little behind the scenes. Game ball, Madhouse. Look at that. Well deserved. Well deserved. I'm sick of the idea that we cannot question JD's choices without being accused of seeing only his faults. It's okay to point out mistakes. We do it with all our players. Why not him? He dug us out of a hole he created. This is honestly a good way to say it. It's a mixture, right? Jayden went out there and won us this game, right? At the same time, he made a ton of mistakes that Slade Roy, Jay Ward, B.J. Ojolari, Harold Perkins, Malik Nabers, Emory Jones, Will Campbell, Charles Turner, Brian Kelly. Football's a complex game. Jayden made big throws when it mattered. He had a huge run when it mattered. He had huge runs when it mattered. And he's a tuck and run, not keep his eyes down the field kind of player. Okay? That's all there is to it. So, once again, I was critical of him at halftime. And I'll still be critical about some of the misses. But at the same time, as Danny points out, you know, he also got out there and he did dig us out of the hole. So there you go. I'm not saying Jayden won the game. He was part of the reason why we won the game, right? Did he miss throws? Yes. At halftime, I destroyed him. At the beginning of the third quarter, when we were still doing the halftime live stream, I did the first offensive drive. He missed Malik in the back of the end zone. Okay. But he did also have some critical runs in the second half. And he threw that ball to Malik Nabers multiple times on third downs and converted them. Right? It's a little bit of both. He was part of the reason why we won the game. And since the quarterback is, you know, the biggest needle mover in the sport, you take the good with the bad with whoever your guy is. But honestly, you know, the defense, a lot of it was the defense. So there you go. So we're getting a lot of people coming in. Obviously, please like the video. Please subscribe. We've gotten a lot of new patrons. Obviously, that is awesome as well. Join the PHL T-shirt club. All you got to do is follow the instructions at the bottom of the screen. Okay. So there you go. Jack did play. Herbie, good to see you. Shadow. Yeah. So if I were to, you know, let's take a look at the poll question here. Jay Ward is currently winning the poll question. Game MVP, Malik Nabers, also getting some votes. Jayden Daniels. There you go. As you guys can see, football is very complex. What's up, you shot? Let's go. I love these $9 super chats, baby. Let's go. Good to see you, my man. Two things. Seem to be unsettled in the pocket and rush throws too much. True. I think it was more who that key didn't make the throws when he had time that I think were the issue. Okay. Obviously, the first half, Mr. Bash was really bad. I have the cut up right here. So I will, for those that missed the halftime show, I will go on ahead and play. Let's go. LSU getting dominated. Their defense obviously playing really well, and it's kind of hard to watch. This honestly wasn't difficult right here. This third and about, 9-ish yards. Right here, throw this football quick to Malik. But honestly, this ball should have gone to Jack Besh, okay? Not really hard to see right here that this slot corner has inside leverage on him, and you just throw this football right here. That's all you got to do. And Jayden was looking in that direction, okay? So there you go. So for those that are saying, don't say Jayden won us the game. Like Danny said, it's important to be balanced. Got to give him a lot of credit here. He's a gamer. Okay. Now, the one thing I will say is I don't see a lot of people describing Jayden Daniels as gritty, right? I think that would be the best way to describe him. And I will say this, okay? Okay, if we're to say this, okay, if you are going to criticize Jayden while at the same time praise him, the one thing you can universally say about him, okay, and this is an undeniable truth, and if you disagree with this, you're just telling a lie. He's gritty. He's tough. He's a leader. He didn't give up. You notice there was never really a time for me in that game that I felt he didn't give us at least an opportunity to win, which, was a big reason why I was like, hey, you got to stick it out. This guy's been in a ton of big moments, and he found a way to give credit, okay? He found a way to get it done. Also give Jake Flint and that Tiger Nutrition team a lot of credit, okay? Now, really quickly before we go to Daniel's very generous super chat, our offensive line is young, too fresh, and going to be a while, but Daniel's decision-making needs to get better and quicker. Totally agree with that. Love our defense, still going to be special. Speaking of special, there needs to be a lot done about special teams, right? Thank God for Slade Roy making that play. Oh, God, that was such a massive play. So, yeah, man, I give the special teams unit this good. If you join our Patreon, you get my grades after every game. So, tomorrow you will get my grades after I rewatch the game, and you'll see how I truly felt about the team's performance. Okay, so let me show you this. This is a sign of somebody tough as nails. This is a boxer's cut on top of his eye right there. Okay. I don't know how severe this is. As you can see, it's off to the side, so it's not quite like one of those UFC cuts, like right on the elbow or right on the eye. But, man, this dude's tough. And I think that's a scratch. So, at the very least, you could say that this dude is gritty, right? And that's a good way to describe him. He's a competitor, right? And he just found a way to get it done tonight. Once again, a lot of that had to do with Mississippi State making some really, really bad mistakes. But the truth is, God, with the cut on his eye and all that stuff, that was great. That was great, right? There you go. Gutsy. I don't really care how it looks in this spot. Now, would his play have beaten a better team? Probably not. You got to make the big throws when you have the opportunities to beat the big teams, right? But a tired Mississippi State unit, I will say this, okay? When I rewatch the game, the truth is what I think I'm going to see is Mississippi State doing a lot to lose it, outside of the MALIK NABERS drive, that was honestly just LSU's offense executing. But outside of that drive, a lot of LSU's success on offense was a lot of bad things Mississippi State was doing, right? But look, that win makes me feel comfortable about us having a floor of 6 and now feeling better how I felt about this team going into this year, a 7-win team. It looks like a 7-win team. They still look like a 7-win roster. But if you gain some confidence, get on a run and get to 8. And if the ball bounces your way, you can get to 9, right? We'll see what Arkansas does when they respond to this. Florida doesn't look that great tonight either, okay? So a lot of these SEC teams that started hot have been clunky here in week 3, okay? Let's go to Mark. Jayden will get better. Got to play the first half like we did play the second. Absolutely, it's a good way to say it. But ultimately, penalties and special teams are an issue. I agree. One thing that kind of bothered me, Mark, were the offsides penalties. We had issues with that in the spring game, and we had issues with it again tonight. Offsides is bad. But also, actually, I take it back. A game ball should go to Tiger Stadium. The noise and the atmosphere as the night's light dimmed played a role. The crowd noise played a role. Now, if I could go to Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward and Verge Osbury to say, if they were to get my opinion on anything, okay? Now, here's the thing. I am going to be a little biased towards what I'm going to say here because of my research showing this to be true. But if I were LSU, I would do everything in my power to make sure I never have a back-to-back road game. I do believe that was huge tonight. Mississippi State disintegrated, okay? And I rarely do this for LSU. I felt pretty comfortable about LSU winning this game because of the second half, because of the tired legs thing. It's hard. It's hard as a college athlete and just in general to play and then jump on another plane, play again against a more athletic team. And their quarterback for Arizona ran around a lot. They had a bunch of exhausting plays. And if you go back and look at the Armani Goodwin run, it was a bunch of lazy arm tackling. If I'm LSU, I'm doing whatever I can to never be in that spot. Because our last back-to-back road game scenario, not including 2020, was 2019, right? And we had Joe Burrow. But we also had our worst defensive performance in the Aranda era. So I would make sure I would never have that on my schedule. So, Arkansas has that coming up. They got Mississippi State and BYU back-to-back. You never want to do that. It's hard. It is hard. Okay? Let's go to Emil, one of our many patrons. Not a great game, but it feels like we're going to be sweating them out all year, so I'll take it. You got to win the 50-50 ones, right? There's going to be a lot of these coin flip games. The score isn't going to look like it, but it was a coin flip game, and it's big. Now, something else that's going to happen, and another reason why your offense has got to get better is, and this is just it for Matt House. Once these coordinators get more film of you defensively, they're going to start figuring out how to move the football against you. Okay? So that's all there is to it. Okay? Here's Van. Guys, JD is no Burrow. but Burrow didn't exactly light it up in his first year in a new system. And honestly, Burrow, especially the Texas A&M game, was also, kind of a tuck and not quite a tuck and runner, but it was clunky, right? And look, I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. Okay. The good thing about Jayden Daniels not ripping the football and not throwing it when throws are there is once again the turnover thing. There is a plus and minus to Jayden missing these throws that show up on tape. The big bonus is he doesn't turn it over. He doesn't throw interceptions. And let's be honest, I shared this privately with our patrons, and I will share it again now. And this was told to me by some of Jayden's family during this offseason when they started watching my channel. And Jacques Doucet did a really good story on this. Jayden doesn't really talk about this a lot. I didn't feel like it was my place. I did bring it up, during the summer when I was told this, and I'll bring it up again now. Jayden's turnover issues happened after he buried his grandparents during the middle of last year. And Arizona State really started to fall apart after that second loss. And it's not the whole reason why he started turning the football over then. But, this is a guy who played with a heavy heart. They told me that his grandfather, who did pass, he was really close to him. So, you guys don't get into the personal stuff all that much, but the guy's just tough as nails, right? This is a guy who's been through a lot. This is a guy whose last head coach was caught watching Spencer Rattler film by Jayden Daniels. I don't care. He doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers back there. At some point, he's going to have to start making these throws. So like Danny said, and as Vance says, it's important to be balanced. It's important to be fair here. And I just got to say this. I like Nuss. I think he could be a big-time Division I starter. He's not the guy. Nor is Walker Howard is the answer right here. So yeah. Still not impressed with the Mike Denbrock play calling. Okay, now I'm going to be honest. When it comes to play calling, I got to have a rewatch, right? Because when you're watching the game, you're mostly focused on the game itself, okay? So I need to actually look at the game itself because judging play calling is something that is a little bit harder. I thought they should have run counter more. They did it with John Emery some in the second half. And I thought they should have thrown the ball to the flats quicker. Okay. Now, I'm just going to say it. I gave a scouting report out how to attack the 3-3-5 defense. And the way you have to do it is throw the football to the flats and quick outs. And honestly, that is what won us the game offensively. Quick outs. That's all it was. Quick outs. That's what you have to do. It's not an easy throw, but defenses will give it to you because it is a longer throw, right? You're throwing the football out. It is a dangerous throw because if it does get picked off, it does open you up for a big return as well. So defenses will dare you, especially Jayden, who's not a great thrower of the football, and he missed it. We showed you the film a minute ago to Jack Bash on, a smash concept, right? Where there's levels of out routes, right? There's a post and then you have your typical out or whatever. So Jayden in the second half started hitting those throws because you just have to take them. And that's what a lot of defenses do. They'll give you that. And that is what won us the game. That is what Arizona did. And Arizona got away from that. When they're doing a lot of exotic things and when they're playing back in coverage, you just got to out them to death. And then when you out them to death, you get the film study from earlier tonight, the bomb to MALIK NABERS over the top. That opens up green grass over the top. So it is. I thought Mike could have gone a little quicker in the first half. At the same time, Tari, we don't break a lot of tackles in the running game. We just don't. And once their defense started getting tired, we started breaking more tackles. I thought Embry looked good as well. I did in his first game. But give Josh Williams a lot of credit. Give Armani Goodwin a lot of credit. I've been very harsh on our running back room and the fact that they came through for us when the game was on the line. I tip my hat to them. Okay. So, yeah. So once again, we appreciate all the new patrons, all the new viewers of PHL. I want to say thank you for making this channel what it is. It's crazy. There's 200 people in a post-game live stream. That's just wild to me. It's just cool that this is even a thing. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. Yeah, Rico, your boy Jay Ward. Look, Rico, you got to eat some crow, man. Got to eat some crow. Jay Ward looked like freaking Jamal Adams out there tonight. That'll get you drafted, honestly. So yeah, it really was a gritty team win. It really was. It wasn't just one of these things where, you jump out to 21-0 lead or something like that. It was a really gritty team win. Man, I'm just so happy. That's a good question, Mark. I'll have a better answer in the rewatch, right? $16 points for bad field position. Defense was incredible. This was one of the better defensive performances of the modern era, right? Like, I mean, obviously what we did to Bama last year was really good. But this is up there, right? This really, really, really is up there. I think, I don't know. It's kind of hard to rank it. This is one of the better ones. Definitely our best one versus Mississippi State. Better than last year's. And something else I'll say is I give Brian credit. I give Brian Kelly and Matt House a lot of credit. They took a lot of heat this week for saying that they weren't just going to rush 3 and drop 8. They were right. Okay. A lot of people have to eat crow on that. They were very right about that. And the more I think about it, the better off they were not doing that. Because if you do the rush 3 drop 8 thing and you allow them to nickel and dime you up and down the field, you have got to score. And we weren't scoring. So we needed our defense to be more of an asset. Y'all win?
38-27.
Y'all got it done?
Woo pig.
Y'all got it done.
Don't worry about neck brace. He going home in a neck
brace. Neck brace going home. Shout out.
Hey, guess what? Now we're 3-0. Guess who we play next week? A&M. And guess what? We're going to be 4-0. And then who do we play? Alabama. We're going to be 5-0. Don't worry about it. Goodbye.
Them Hogs, they think it's their year. It's their year. Start the KJ train, baby. We better be ready to tackle that guy. That's a tank right there. He's like watered down Cam, right? He is good. He is a really, really good football player. So no, Jared, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't stop a wild hog, baby. The hogs are loose. Wait, is Sunbelt Billy losing? Not Sunbelt Billy. Losing to the Fighting Jerry Bohannons. Dang. Raging Cajuns are about to lose to Rice. What's the Sunbelt? I got to see the Sunbelt Billy score. Hey, don't talk about the Sunbelt, man. They got a Hail Mary win today. Wait, where's the Florida score? Oh, they're down 28-24. I'm still going to go with Emory. Kind of interesting. Oh, Noah Kane tonight. Sunbelt Billy. Y'all don't know about Sunbelt Billy. What's up, Katie Joe? Good to see you. How you feeling? Mix in here. What's up, Mike? That was a Jacob Hester type of run. You're right, Bruce. BJ was amazing tonight. I don't think anybody did, Jeff. I think that was honestly the story. And I think that's going to be the story in the SEC, right? There we go. Blake called it. Blake said LSU by double digits. I'm sure you felt that way when it was 13-0. I love it. They all count the same, baby. They all count the same. Jaquelin Roy, baller. All W's, they count the same. Well, they really don't, but they kind of do. Glimpses of greatness tonight. Good to see you, hit man. Mississippi Mike. I like the dog. Well, I guess your question here, and I think you're new-ish, Mississippi Mike. You always want newbies to feel great. Brian Burgess, good to see you as well. We'll talk about Coach Polian. Mark Cumbie wants to talk about Coach Polian tonight. So yeah. I'm guessing when you say tendencies, you mean like the tendency to tuck and run. Yes and no, right? Like, I think that's who he is, right? You have to know if you're not going to throw balls when they're open and you're going to tuck and run, you open yourself up for hits. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just true, right? So, once again, you got to let that ball rip. You just got to let it rip. And the difference here is honestly, like, JD and Max are not really that much different. It's that JD can scramble out of it. Like, JD will be looking in the right direction and just not let it rip. Right? So it's one of those things. Okay. So here's what I'll do is I'll show you the MALIK throw one more time. Okay. So if we have a lot of newbies in, I was able to cut this film study here. I'll show it to you one more time. Okay. Play the game right here by Jayden Daniels. I mean, look, we can say what we want about his throwing ability. This is such a good call. If they are going to press when we had been killing them on outs and shorter routes, you got to go over the top and take advantage of green grass, and that is exactly what Jayden Daniels does. Gets a little bit of a low-ish snap. Good protection right here to give Jayden just enough time to throw this football, and he throws an absolutely beautiful ball right here. And, you know, to help close this game out, Jayden's legs is what really won it. But this throw, I mean, just when you really needed it. That's the thing. You know, Jayden doesn't have to be the absolute best thrower. It doesn't have to be the prettiest at all times. But you can always find a way to get a W, and that's exactly what Jayden did tonight. Let's go. So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Jayden's throwing is part of the reason why he doesn't let it rip is he's only going to throw passes that he knows 100% will not get intercepted. So that MALIK fade right there, if it's single high safety and you know they're playing press, he knows if he just throws that ball out there, it's not going to get picked. It's either MALIK is going to catch it or nobody will. And if it does get picked, it's an arm punt, right? So that is a safe throw. It's a really good throw, and Jayden doesn't let it rip unless it is a 100% safe throw, okay? There are some pluses to it, but sometimes you got to let it rip when it's not just a gazillion% safe throw, right? He's really good at throwing these kind of 9-ish kind of routes, right? A go, if you will. A ball that's either going to get completed, or if it's not, it's either an incompletion, or if the low chance it does get picked, it's not going to get returned for hardly anything. Tackling was much improved. Absolutely. And once again, it's Jay Ward, right? This guy heard the noise. He heard, hey, you got to wrap up. Hey, you got to bring him all the way to the ground. And I give him credit. I give him credit for doing that. This might upset some of you guys, which is fine. But apparently Coach Kelly appreciated Jayden. Yeah, the knee did look kind of bad. But we'll see. I don't know why we're talking about Nussmeier right now. I really don't understand it. Why do we want Nussmeier to play right now? I have people close to us that watch this a lot, watch my channel. Why are we talking about Nuss right now? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Now, if Jayden didn't play well in the second half, it'd be a little bit different. But he did. Now, he missed that throw early in the third. That was bad. But still. Something that Carter has said over and over in Discord. Avery Atkins, oh, man. Don't get me on an Avery Atkins rant. Wouldn't think kickoffs would be that big, but the penalty tonight saved us. Need a new punt returner as well. You guys, Avery Atkins, this is one thing I did not get. I know he graduated and he wanted to move on with his life. Totally get it. But there's nothing in the NFL for kickoff specialists. Even though I think there should be. I think there should be a role in the NFL for kickoff specialists. I do. Avery Atkins is one of the most dominant LSU football players of all time. Is he one of the best? No. But what he did was as good. He was as dominant as any player we've ever had. Dead serious. 4 years, he had a touchback percentage of 78% or higher. That is amongst the nation's top 5 every single season. 3 of the 4 years, he was a touchback percentage of 80 or more. And one of those years included 2019, where he had 131 kickoffs, right? So in theory, you would think a leg would get tired, but no, his kickoff percentage still stayed the same. It was the same in 2020 where, we had some games where we didn't kick off much. And then 2019, we're kicking off 1,000 times a game, right? Tonight, and this is something that we always say on this channel, you tend to appreciate great players when the replacement level players aren't as good as the great ones, right? Our bad tackling last week made you appreciate Kevin Minter, made you appreciate Devin White, and so on and so on and so on, right? The simple truth is this. Avery Atkins is a massive loss because every single time, 4 out of 5 times, he was kicking that ball out of the back of the end zone. And that is huge, right? And our kickoff unit coverage was bad. Our punt coverage unit was bad again. And outside of Slade Roy, and I know I'm biased because Slade is our guy. The truth is our special teams is a mess. Stop with the nuts fuss. Exactly. Look, I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to believing in Garrett Nussmeier. I bought not 1, but 2 of his rare autographs right here. Okay. I love Nuss. I love his attitude. He's a great teammate. He signals the plays in. I've gotten to know some of his people, as I've mentioned. I love Nuss. It's hard not to like him. He's a good teammate, right? But a lot of you come here because, I am a fan. Obviously, I got all this LSU stuff. I collect all this LSU thing. It's what I look at every day. I talk to a lot of you in the Discord and in the Patreon. But you guys come here for objective analysis. Nuss had 2 really, not like receiver dropped it, tipped up in the air interceptions. It was what were you doing interceptions against Southern, okay? Name all the players who played last week versus Southern. You could name probably maybe 2 or 3 of them that had really bad games. Nuss is not ready. He is not ready. And it's not it's not really even debatable right now. It's not. Based on what we've seen, and like I've referenced a few other times on this channel, I've talked about Nuss. He does throw the best ball on this team. He looks the best throwing the football. But the game of football is not played versus air. He's not the guy right now. He might be by year 3, but look at LSU historically. Every quarterback at LSU that has been a full-time starter, either year 3 or later in their career, in the modern era, has turned out to be successful. It is a 100% hit rate, right? Every single quarterback that was decent to Burrow started full-time by year 3 or later. All the quarterbacks who failed had to start in year 1 or year 2 of their development. Every single one of them. It is near 100%, right? Maturity and age matters. And the bottom line is, even though Jayden missed all these throws, the speed of the game when it comes to not making mistakes and run for a first down here, big throw here, big throw there, missed throw here, missed throw there. It's time to move on from the Nuss idea for now. Now, I hope he gets the opportunity to play and hopefully a blowout victory next week. But like I said, I buy Nuss's cards. I'm invested in him. And I love I love his people. I do. But the truth is, that is where we are right now. Okay. Let's go to Max's super chat. People saying JD can't improve is ridiculous, and it's really casual football fantic. For example, look at Sequavius Bennett walk on to potential Heisman. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, Max. I sent this to Van earlier today. I actually didn't actually make the bet for Stetson Bennett for Heisman. I have tweets. I have a video on my Power Hour SEC channel where I said the best bet is Stetson Bennett for Heisman. He was plus 12,500. A $100 bet would net you $12,500. A $1,000 bet would net you what? 120K, or isn't that right? Either way, I didn't put my money where my mouth is. And I said that bet was the best Heisman bet on the board. And now he's probably the favorite. Okay. He's probably, if there was a vote today, he would probably be, there. Let's go to Victoria. Thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. Carter, I thought it was unique how many times both teams went for it on fourth. That game was awesome. Let's go LSU. Victoria, I'm glad you brought this up. I didn't have it in my notes here to talk about this. Give Brian Kelly a lot of credit. Give him a lot of mother effing credit. Aggressive on fourth down. Thank you, Victoria. Really appreciate you bringing that up because I'm a stickler for this. You guys know this. I love coaches that are aggressive. Mike Leach didn't get too aggressive. He just made bad fourth down calls, especially on the runs on the next two that he didn't convert. The last one he didn't convert, that was actually just a really good defensive play call because House really played that smart. Okay. So thank you so much, Victoria. I really appreciate your patronage. You've obviously helped me grow my football knowledge, and I really do appreciate you and LA Mom and the ladies of PHL. I'm loving this. We're obviously, a growing channel. Also, that we're a diverse channel. We got different viewpoints of all backgrounds, including LA Mom, who is a new patron. I love it. What do you think? What do you think can get Kayshawn more involved? So this is a really good question. There is a difference between being involved and being productive. Okay. Now, Kayshawn was involved. All right. Guess what happened? On fourth down versus Florida State, we ran a Kayshawn slit play. Okay. So the Rams do it with Cooper Kupp, and a lot of teams do this where they slip their wide receiver at the snap of the football across the formation. You get them in the flat. Okay. To use another example, that's how Justin Jefferson got a 4th and 1 touchdown versus Green Bay. So why is that a good play? Well, on 4th and short, teams are oftentimes going to play man coverage. Okay. And it's really tough in that situation to do something called banjo, where your man is no longer your man because of pre-snap motion. Because you can't really banjo on 4th down in that spot, which means if he's running to the other side of the formation, you yell, "Hey, other dude on the other side of the formation, you need to pick him up." That's not how they say it. They're obviously way more eloquent than I am. So what we did versus Florida State on a critical 4th and 2 was Florida State actually does banjo a lot, but we were still able to slip Kayshawn into the flats and pick up a nice 4th down. So what do we do? Tonight on Jayden's 3rd down run, we actually did the same thing. We showed Kayshawn slipping, and guess what? Mississippi State covered it. It was covered. But guess who made the play? Jayden freaking Daniels. So the truth is, being involved and being productive are two different things, right? Being involved, Kayshawn was very involved in the game. His snap count was very much a part of the game. What's going to be interesting, though, all right, and we did, once again, I highly recommend you go subscribe to our free LSU podcast where I've actually done a lot of stuff on Kayshawn, okay? So last year, he chalk outlined Emmanuel Forbes, the corner he was going up against, who's going to play in the NFL a very long time. He had a quiet night tonight. It wasn't Kayshawn's best night. What's going to be interesting is now that we're winning, when is he going to score a touchdown? Kayshawn, since he took over being our best player and our best wide receiver in 2020, when Eric left and when Terrace Marshall left, Kayshawn was our alpha. He scored a touchdown in every game all the way up until the Kentucky game. Okay? So here we are. The Alabama game, he dropped the football too soon. It was his touchdown, but technically not his. Kentucky game, he didn't score a tutty. Through 3 games, he has not scored a tutty. But he's still winning his games, right? The fact that he exists matters. Okay? Uh-oh. Bang! There he is. Look, I got you right here, Jason. Walker Howard Auto. I'm going to send you a bunch of Jayden cards as well for your kiddos. Thank you so much, Jason. Huge win for the Tigers. Jay Ward is steadily increasing his draft status. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason, for your generosity. If I had a vote, he was my player of the game. Matt House, number 1. Jay Ward, number 2. All right. And Ojulari. Honestly, BJ was amazing. BJ was amazing tonight. He really was. Thank you so much, Jason. I really do appreciate it. And Cody, what's up, man? I love it. Cody's always rocking the old school PHL shirt. I really appreciate your friendship over the years, Cody, and I appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. How about our boy Slade Roy recovering the muff punt? I might as well just keep this photo on the screen for a while. Look at that unbridled joy from Slade Roy. Mike is actually a huge Jay Ward fan. I love it. Look at that. We got a few of our interviewees watching right now, including Van, and a few others may or may not be watching this right now. We've had a lot of good interviews. Okay. Can I sing a song real quick? Because he was the only guy that picked us. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Ha, ha, ha. Tell him, Luke. Diamond rings and football teams. Luke Combs, man. You want to know why I like Luke Combs? You want to know why I like Luke Combs so freaking much? Is that every country music star is good looking, right? But the ones that are really talented, that aren't like these pop country people or whatever, the ones that don't look like freaking Abercrombie models, they are the ones that really, really can sing. Man, I am a Luke. I did a country music show for 5 years. Luke was like one of the 5 artists who I liked. So there you go. Show Luke some love for a little bit. I love Kayshawn, but have to be real. The Kayshawn we had last year is not the Kayshawn we have this year, regardless of JD looks. He is not the same. I'll agree to disagree here, right? His Southern game, he was my highest graded player. This game, he was fine, right? But look, when you have a quarterback who's not a thrower, who can run a lot, there was 2 tutties that Kayshawn missed because Jayden decided to eat the ball. We still scored anyway on both of them. That affects your numbers and your perception. But I do agree, Michael, he's not the same producer as he was. But I'll say this. I do give him credit for actually being there, right? At least he's playing. And this is a guy who is kind of not really having anything to gain from playing this year. I think if Kayshawn were to say, look, I'm not playing the rest of the year, I want to get ready for the NFL draft, he's still going to be a top 10 pick, right? So when does basketball season start? War Eagle. Yeah, you are getting the TJ Finley experience, okay? The bottom line is, as much as I like TJ, as much as I always cheer for Louisiana 3 stars, there's only so much your offense can do with TJ at quarterback. I didn't watch a second of that game other than Penn State's quarterback getting decapitated, right? I lost 20 viewers when I started singing Luke. That's my jam right there. I also thought it was cool. So he did do something interesting. I'll give Luke Combs some credit. His voice went out before a show. He still did the show, but he refunded everybody in the audience their tickets and said, I'll be back to do another show. That guy, he could, man. And I listened to some of the show. He sounded fine. I can't name another song outside of Long Neck Ice Cold Beer. I love it. Yeah, Brian Harsin is in over his head. I've been saying this for I don't know how long. Mark, I've launched the SEC channel. I'll talk about Auburn because you did Super Chat. Auburn didn't know what they had with Gus. Gus is an elite head coach. I said it. I don't know Gus. He's an elite head coach. UCF, kind of a rough season right now. So, yeah. I stuffed your Super Chat? Well, Blake, I don't snuff Super Chats. I did, Blake. And just for that, Blake. Actually, I was doing this already. I'm going to save a surprise for you. So, Blake let me know that he is a big Dwayne Bowe fan, but he's also a big Jamarcus Russell fan. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm actually sending you my favorite Jamarcus Russell card, which has a chunk from his game-worn uniform. I was going to let it be a surprise, but I stuffed your Super Chat, so I wanted to make you feel better. It's my favorite J. Russ card. And you guys know I'm a big J. Russ fan. I'm a big fan of everybody that played hard for LSU. So there you go, Blake. And I felt bad. I stuffed your Super Chat, man. And this is a good Super Chat. The haters need to recognize the improved offensive line. Check. The improved tackling. Check. And execution across the board. Check. Check. Is that a check? I don't even know what that is. Check. Actually, it needs to go here and then here. Check. 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 I'm looking at you right now. Boom, I'm looking at you. Boom. Long neck eyes. I messed up my chair. Never broke my heart. Please don't call people morons in here, music. I will block you if you get the name calling. No name calling allowed in here. And the conditioning. It's a quadruple check. Oh, look what I have tonight. Oh, this has like a boogered thing. Is it going to be
fine.
It's boogered.
No, it's not.
It's not even going to sit.
Come here, baby.
Victory Z. Is it going to sit on there? Oh, that's not going to sit.
You want me to grab another one?
Well, if you put a coos under. Yeah, put the.
You want another one?
Yeah, see if it's smooth.
Come on.
Go, don't.
Sorry, leave her alone.
Hey. Come on. Quit. There you go. Oregon killing BYU. I liked Oregon in this spot. BYU played an overtime game that ended at like 2 a.m. Did South Florida win? Is Bayou Billy losing? Billy! I like Billy. Are we drinking? Where's Danny? I hope Danny's in here. I'm going to text her right now. She always talks about my fruity drinks. Bud Light Seltzer Retro Tie-Dye. Got to drink some tonight after a victory.
It was a close one for both of us.
Wait, what happened?
Look.
What happened to the...
Florida won.
Oh, Florida won?
Quit, Mama.
Oh, they kicked a 49-yarder? It's over.
All right, guys. We are going.
They go night-night.
I gotta go move furniture tomorrow, so. You boogered that.
Boogered it again.
Yeah.
How's it, baby? Oh, Bayou Billy.
You mama's baby? You my baby? Yeah.
Not Billy.
She loves her mom. You know your mom. Come on.
Oh, it was a bad snap. Oh, man, if they only had Slade freaking Roy. I got people tweeting me. Saying, don't make excuses for Jayden. Once again, no one can have nuance, right? You can say you missed throws, but at the same time, the ball to MALIK was a mother effing dime. I honestly feel like some people just want him to fail. I just feel like that, right? Some people just don't want him to succeed. It's kind of miserable, honestly. Are there going to be some games where his ability to hold on to the football too long is going to hurt us? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of those games if he doesn't start ripping it. But at the same time, it's not like, here's a difference, okay? Here's a difference. And I'm going to get to Jason's very generous super chat because now I'm getting tweets. I'm getting all kinds of messages. You're making an excuse, like as if you can, like Danny eloquently stated earlier, you can say something without totally being totally forced something, or there's nuance, right? Especially football. Max did the same thing. Max wouldn't rip the football. He wouldn't throw it. The major difference, though, is Max doesn't have the Lamar Jackson-esque ability to run yourself out of a situation. He has some mobility, but Jayden's mobility is elite. It is elite tier, right? He is an elite runner of the ball, to his detriment sometimes. So, that's the difference. We still have a quarterback who doesn't want to rip it when it's there. And the difference is that with Max, it is a zero-sum situation. If he doesn't make the throw, there's no positive play that's going to happen more than likely. If Jayden doesn't make the throw, there is still a likelihood that something might happen. Okay? So, it's not the prettiest, but, the idiom, and it applies here, is 1,000 different ways you can skin the cat. Okay? Let's go to Jason's very generous super chat. Once again, show some clap emojis to our Hundo Club members for tonight. That is Van and that is Jason. Thank both of you. Show some love to Van and Jason. They are two of the biggest supporters of PHL. It's made me know Van's been become a really close friend of mine. I really appreciate, he gives me a lot of good wisdom on LSU football. From someone that's followed the team his whole life. And obviously Jason, he brought up Xavier Carter this offseason. He made a big play for us this weekend. Jason thinks of the little guys. So let's talk about some Armani Goodwin. Look, I'm very critical of Armani. I'm very happy for this generous super chat. Tonight he shut me up. Right now, did he get the benefit of playing against as worn down of a defense as you are going to face? He did, right? That was their 70th play of the game, which is not a whole lot, but it's still a lot, right? Like, it's not extreme. Like, if you get to 80 plays in a game, that's an extreme amount of plays. Okay. So the truth is, you give those players credit. The Armani Goodwins, the Josh Williams of the world. They hear people like me say, we lack some talent in our running back room. And they shut me up. And they shut me up tonight. They came through for us, and I'm glad they shut me up. I'm glad when I'm wrong. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do that in the first half, though. So, yeah, Armani had a really, really good second half. First half was a little rough. Second half is better, and hopefully we see more of that. And look, there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure. So I give Armani a lot of credit. And yeah, I'm really, really blessed to see him do what he was able to do when the game was on the line. There he is. I love you, man. I love you like a brother. Oh, Jay Hill. That's so great. That's good. There's some love for Van and Jason. I'm not saying he has zero scrambling ability. It's just not Jayden's scrambling ability, right? What was Max's rushing stats at LSU? I know, he was told to not run per se. He's got some, but he's definitely not a Burrow level runner. So like he's a fine runner. but his scrambling ability can't go win you a game like Jayden's scrambling ability can win you a game. But like Blake has said, and like I've said, got to be able to rip it. Now, I do want to talk about some other positions tonight. Give Damian Ramos a lot of credit. He kicked the football really well tonight. I got to give Mekhi Wingo a lot of credit. Wingo had another good game tonight. The defense just played well. Just going through my mind right now, the truth is, well, look, the plays that Mississippi State did make, they were good. They were Will Rogers just making a play. Okay? As Carter, will LSU and Coach Jim Brock watch South Florida UF film? They should, because South Florida gave UF a big scare. And the irony of it, Rick, is I haven't gotten a chance to watch the game, but South Florida did it with the quarterback, kind of like Jayden, Jerry Bohannon, who's not a thrower of the football, but he's an elite runner and he doesn't make mistakes. I'm interested to see what the tape actually looks like. Apparently, AR-15 had another rough outing. But look, a lot of these teams in the SEC outside of Georgia don't look that great right now. Alabama looks pretty good, but they looked rough, in their one Power 5 game up to this point. And look, nobody looks great outside of Georgia. Nobody. Ole Miss, they really haven't played anybody yet. Georgia Tech win, though, was pretty impressive. Kentucky looks pretty solid, and Tennessee looks really good. We got Tennessee coming up here in a few weeks, so we'll see. Got to give Wingo some love, man. $85 has 2 years of eligibility left. Let's go to Hitstick Super Chat. As many of you know, Hitstick is one of our sharpest football minds. Matt House just showed the nation why he gets paid. It'll hurt when he leaves to be a head coach, but hey, Marcus Freeman. I love trolley comments like this. I love it. I freaking love it. Man. This is oh man, look at God. Let's go. My God, you can't be serious. Oh man, I cannot with this. Long day, ice cold beer never broke my heart. This is it's everything. This comment is everything. Okay. I want to super chat, which obviously, helps. Number 2, it shows love to the player of the game. Obviously, it's Matt House. I think Matt House is your player of the game. Matt House bailed a lot of people out tonight. He bailed Polian out. He bailed, honestly, our offense out. He was great. So you show love to a coach. He's not getting enough love, even though he's my MVP. Secondly, you show love to him in his future, which is obviously good. But third, you creatively throw in a punchline without actually saying the punchline. Hit stick. This is Chappelle level verbiage here. Unfreaking believable. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I can't say. I don't even know why do I even have a YouTube channel? I just got to shut the YouTube channel down now. Because you can't beat this. This is so freaking good. It's spice. Oh, look at this. I get it, Blake. I see what you did. It's a major burn. Oh, man. What's up, Jim? Good to see you. Go to KMC. I just love his avatar. I think Xavier Carter jersey. It's just so random and perfect. That's what this channel is built on. I love it. I'm rocking my Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I love it. Oh, man. Wait, who is correcting himself? Who is correcting himself? Did I miss something? Oh, I thought Blake was saying it was a major burns on the Blake, I gave you too much credit. I gave you too much credit, Blake. This is why you never trust people named Blake. Kidding. Y'all don't go tattletale. I talk to Blake every day. OL played their best game. Jayden actually had time to throw. He did, and he missed some big throws in this game. The need to keep Emory at right tackle, agree, and Harold Perkins is a dog. So, well, what do you know? I get some evaluations right. I get some wrong. Who did I tell you the three special players were in this class? Emory Jones, Harold Perkins, Will Campbell. Who were the three players that I expected to play in year one? Harold Perkins, Emory Jones, Will Campbell. Okay. That doesn't include Walker Howard. Quarterbacks are a different eval, as a lot of you know. But those are my three clear-cut best players in the class. And the way I had them ranked was Perkins, Jones, Campbell, and they were all three of them were phenomenal. Phenomenal. Emory Jones missed one twist stunt. That's going to happen. If you're telling me he missed one major assignment, now I once again have to rewatch the game. Kid was incredible. He was incredible tonight. Let's go. That's what I've got Kelly fired year one. Pay the bot. I was wrong. Give me JD5. Look, I'm going to defend my friend Jay Hill here. Okay. I am. He is admitting that he was wrong about Nuss. And I like Nuss a lot too. Once again, I actually do love these cards. These two Nuss purple parallel cards. They look really nice. I don't know if anybody's going to want them. I want them. But, you know, the truth here is life is great. And Jay Hill should be commended. When you do the media stuff, you're going to get a lot wrong. And who knows? Maybe Nuss does turn out to be great. We'll see. In all seriousness, neighbors should put the nation on notice, and that should put Keyshawn in a position to get way more touches. True. And this is why it's important to wait and say, what we talked about earlier, LA Mom, one of our best viewers, we were talking about, Kayshawn's involvement. Well, you want to know why Malik gets one-on-ones? Because you can't let Kayshawn get one-on-ones. And yeah. So, yeah. Exactly. I will not. Music? Close to blocking. You don't attack Jay Hill on here. All right. Now here's the thing. I should go get my Jay Hill autographed jersey and replace Jamar. But you want to know why I put Jamar Chase up there? Number one, he did hold up one of his fingers towards Minkah Fitzpatrick last week. I don't know if you guys saw that photo. It was the biggest finger that he held up to Minkah Fitzpatrick. And anytime you flip off an Alabama player on live national TV, I give you a lot of credit. And another reason why I have Jamar Chase on here is that they are playing the Cowboys tomorrow. And Jamar Chase, once again, trash-talked Trevon Diggs. And, yeah, I don't need to show you the Kayshawn or the Jamar Chase Trevon Diggs photo again. So that's another reason why I put Jamar Chase's jersey number up there. And I also put Jamar Chase's jersey number up there because this is the number of SEC victories Brian Kelly now has, representing our first SEC victory. So until we lose, for every game day, we got to have a Jamar Chase jersey up here. And I'm wearing my Joe Burrow shirt. Okay. T-Pain was good. Hey, good luck guarding Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow coming off a loss. Good freaking luck. I need to find every sports book and take the over. So, yeah. I'm always transparent about my plays. I did bet LSU tonight. I did, and I rarely do, but I did because of the back-to-back road game thing. And I felt like with all that research I did, I think I put like $40 on it. With all like the research I did, I was like, well, I gotta, all signs point to LSU winning tonight. And look, I'll say this as well about, a lot of you have said, well, Jayden didn't look the best. We didn't look the best. Our offense is clunky. Our defense bailed us out. The truth is, college football, and this is what makes college football great, okay? Mississippi State outplayed us for a good portion of this game. They definitely outplayed us in the first half. But college football is not just about who you play. It's about when you play them. That is not the case in a lot of different sports, right? Where if you are hot at the end of the year, that's all that matters. In mostly every sport, the only thing that matters is if you're hot at the end of the year. If you're hot at the end of the year, you could find a way to win it all. The Atlanta Braves being a good example. The Boston Celtics last year almost winning it all. In college football, you've got to bring it. You have got to bring it every single week. And a big reason why we won the game is historically, this was a really bad spot for Mississippi State. Really bad spot. So the truth here is I'm actually going to bet against the team playing the back-to-back road game every time against the number. Because the against the number, the ATS numbers actually show correlation as well, right? So, I'm like, okay, LSU getting a team playing back-to-back road games, and I'm getting points in Death Valley on a Saturday night. That just seemed too obvious, right, for me. And like I said in my preview, if you go listen to the preview, I said, look, Mississippi State might lay an egg, and they did. They really did. They did a lot tonight to lose this game. Wide open drops, fumbled snaps, fumbled punt returns. It's what makes this football great. It's what makes the sport great, right? It's what makes college football great. You have these spots where if you get a team in a good spot, you'll win games that you're not supposed to. We showed Ojolari some love, but I'm going to show him a little more love tonight just for you, Peyton. And welcome to the channel, Peyton. Going to hit stick again. JD5 will develop into a top. Oh. Ooh. All right, so I'll defer to Jeremy because he, obviously played at the NFL level. I cover the NFL. I have an NFL show, but I'm mostly college. I watch a lot of NFL. Okay, NFL draft is one of my favorite things as well, as it is for a lot of you, right? That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot. Is it within the realm of possibility of this happening? Yeah. In a wide range of outcomes, yeah. He is my quarterback, so I'm going to root for this to happen as well. Okay, so these are the guys I know for sure. Okay, Young, Stroud, for sure. Are going in the first round. Will Levis is getting a lot of hype. Then Jordan Travis is very interesting to me. Before he got hurt, he was throwing a really good ball. So, I'll save the NFL draft talk for a little bit later in the year as we get closer to what Jayden's actually going to want to do. But in the NFL, you can't do what Jayden did tonight. No, I'm just being honest. You got to throw it. you just do. Like, you just do. That's just how that sport operates. Now, Lamar is a little bit different because Lamar's God tier as a runner, but Lamar can rip it. So it's a completely different game. But as you said, if he develops into making those throws, he will be a top 2 round pick. So yeah. It's so refreshing to see LSU improving on their shortcomings from week to week. One thing I don't ever remember seeing from Edo's staff, BK equals the man. So I won't spend too much time on O, right? Because a lot of you sent me photos of him wearing the Miami gear tonight for the Texas A&M game. He's probably also there to support Max. I'd be shocked if those two still didn't have a relationship. Look, I'll answer because you did super chat it. True for the last 2 years. Our teams didn't get better. They didn't. 2020, they did to a certain extent because we did win the final 2 games, but we still made a lot of the mistakes that we were making in those games. And then 2021, obviously, he didn't coach really at the end of the year. We didn't get better. But 2019, the teams got better. 2018, we also got better as the season moved on. And 2017, that was the case as well. So what I will say, though, Blake, to your point is Brian Kelly, historically, his teams get better as well. And that's the most important thing. Now, Blake, this is going to be the big thing. And I think you mentioned this earlier, and a few of you have mentioned this as well. And I know you're not throwing shade. You're making a really good point here. You know, just saying it's good to see. One thing Brian Kelly does need to fix, okay? And I'm not saying he wants to fix it. This is something that needs to get fixed, is the special teams. It's everything right now, okay? Outside of Slade Roy, okay? And I know he's our guy. We have issues. We have major issues right now. Not some, we have major issues. Covering kicks is a disaster. Covering punts is a disaster. Obviously, blocking field goals. Looks like we got that fixed. Problem solved. But that is what you do, right? And maybe, just maybe, the special teams coordinator needs to just do special teams instead of also being a recruiting coordinator. There is a lot of responsibility on the special teams coordinator because you have all your position coaches, but special teams, you have to monitor all the position groups. And and for those that actually play, you know this, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight. Once again, I played in high school, but I know quite a few coaches. One of the more difficult things is having not only special teams, but backup special teams, because a lot of players get hurt and you don't normally think, hey, we got to make sure we have a backup ready to go at this unit. It's a very difficult job being a special teams coordinator. But right now we're not getting it done. We're not getting it done. Okay. Now, fielding punts yet again was a mess. At least we didn't muff it like them. Okay. We've got to fix it. Now, I would like to see Brian Kelly get more hands-on about that, especially this week, because, we have a winnable game this next week. So we'll see. I mean, Harold is so freaking good. Harold Perkins is so freaking good. Started 4 years for DeVry. No, I was a University of Phoenix option quarterback. Me and Chris going head up in Tecmo Bowl. Jay, what's up, man? Good to see you, JD. Got a bunch of Jeremys in here tonight. I love it. Yeah, this is how I feel about it. Like, I'm not worried about next year right now. I'm just happy we freaking won a game that we, quite frankly, after how we started, had no business winning. Right. So, yeah. Let's go. I hope Max. Actually, I'm cheering for Miami. What am I saying? But Max put it out on the line for us. He won us a lot of football games. He also lost us some, but he won us a lot too. Wes Weeks had his best game as well. Good eyes, Aaron. I really appreciate you. Britt, good to see you. And John Sibley. What is the Arizona UTSA score? Did y'all win? Please tell me y'all won. I will say this. UTSA's coach is really good. Okay, y'all are going to win. And y'all are going to cover too. Okay. Ooh, I thought the over was going to hit comfortably in Miami versus Texas A&M. But no. I honestly thought this was going to be a higher scoring game. But it's not even going to come close. I say that, but that freaking, Chris, you know this, that freaking Purdue game versus Syracuse had like 40 points in the second half and it covered? But yeah, let me answer your question, John Sibley. I wanted to see if you guys took care of business versus the Roadrunners. Jeff Traylor's a good coach at UTSA. He's really good. Someone tell me how Pig Cage is doing at UTSA. Someone tell me how Joseph Evans is doing. Will our fan base ever accept BK even if he wins, but not big wins? No. LSU fans are not going to accept Brian Kelly unless he actually wins a national championship. And, I've done a lot of content on this idea. In the grand scheme of things, Brian Kelly came here to win a national championship, and you're not remembered unless you win a championship, right? So BK even knows that he's got to actually win a championship. To me, if he gets to multiple playoffs, that's obviously the sign of a good coach. If we become a perennial 10-win power, that's a sign of a really good coach. But fans are not going to fully accept him unless he wins a national championship. And quite honestly, John, what's kind of good about this, if you're an LSU fan, and this is going to sound very bleak, but BK's got enough money. He's made enough money to where money isn't really like the be-all, end-all for him. This isn't his first big, fat, exorbitant contract that he's received. He himself knows he's got to do this for his legacy. And Brian Kelly, who's a historian of the game, you heard him talking about, just everything in like interviews about like how much the history of the game of college football means. I think he knows that he would feel incomplete as a professional coach if he doesn't actually get it done. So, I don't look at it that way. I'm not going to view him as a failure if he doesn't win a national championship. But you've got to make playoffs. Like, you just do. You just do at LSU, right? So, for me, that's going to be the sign. And obviously, we're not going to know. Now, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. The 2023 schedule sets up very nicely for LSU. And I know I'm not going to, I just said a minute ago, I'm not going to talk about it next year. But you do get Missouri, And you do get the rematch versus Florida State where they probably won't have Travis back. Alabama loses a QB. Arkansas loses their QB. Florida loses their QB. You don't have to play a good Tennessee team next year. There's a lot that goes LSU's favor when it comes to the schedule. It sets up really nicely for them to make a very nice run with a championship level backbone of a roster, right? So, for me, I think next year is going to be a good opportunity for him. I hope we keep it. I hope we get to keep the schedule next year. I know a lot of us are excited to see what the new schedule is going to look like. This is one year where I hope it's the same, right? Basketball did have a big game. That's right. T-Pain, one of my lifelong friends right here. D-line was big. Wingo was big for us tonight. Wingo and Roy. I'll tell you, if there's somebody, if I were to list the people that LSU fans hate the most, Damian Craig has got to be in the top 10. It's got to be in the top 10. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that hate him. You know what I say about that? Good. Football is better when people are hated. And we got a good recruiting class here. One thing I will say about recruiting really quickly. So Desmond Ricks was obviously, the big name in this weekend. Obviously, Southern weekend was bigger, arguably, in recruiting. But Desmond Ricks is a 2024 5-star corner. He visited LSU. It's going to go great. LSU's recruiting staff does a great job. But I do want to include one quick recruiting thing now that we are on the topic. I know it's high school. You don't take anything away from high school football. I do factor in their film. But what I will say is there are a lot of these LSU commits that are having massive senior seasons, right? Kyle Parker's putting up just insane stats. Shelton Sampson, I think, had the best game of his career last night. Zalance Hurd chalk outlined somebody pretty bad. That's what he does. Trey Holly is still killing it. And really the only bad story is Caleb Jackson got hurt. But it looks like we got some dogs in this next class, right? Well, it could be. Wasn't he the one that incited everything after the overtime game? I don't know. We'll see after the Tennessee visit. The number one thing is just going to be the Tennessee visit, right? I don't care if we win or lose a game. And I do care if we personally win or lose a game. But recruits don't care as much as you would probably think about the win or the loss of the actual team in the game. I just hope the visit goes as planned. And, honestly, if he doesn't make the visit, then you probably don't really have a shot. So, yeah. Max is a junior. Yeah, he is technically in year 3, but he still has, if he plays more than 4 games this year, he still has 2 years of eligibility left. So there you go. Love the hat. So I'll ask the question again. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would you be interested in a PHL hat? What I will show you is, so one of our PHLers, I won't say who it is, actually made this hat, and I like supporting. So the PHL shirts, I had to order more. It's actually made by a PHLer. And the reason why I get my shirts is that everybody compliments the shirt quality. So, I pay a little bit more, and he obviously gives me a good deal as well. But I like supporting other PHLers. Okay, what I want to show you is the stitching on this logo is crazy. Like, I am very impressed. I don't have Max's stats in front of me. I would take Max back on our team as our backup. I saw someone ask that a minute ago. Hell yeah, I'd take Max back. Not as a starter, though. I would still start JD. But Max is actually a really good backup quarterback. They do it every week. Yeah, Brian Kelly did his press conference. I'll pull up some of his quotes here. I know traffic after this game sucked. Okay, so Chris, we actually do have some good news as far as what you brought up a minute ago. The schedule is going to stay intact. So the Oklahoma and Texases of the world will not be in the SEC next year. It'll be 2024. So this is via Sam Kahn. Greg Sankey, in light of the reason Oklahoma Georgia series being canceled, said the fact that Alabama Texas is still scheduled for next year is a pretty good sign that the conference alignments are going to stay that way next year. Okay? So there you go. Jayden Daniels with the game ball. I love this. Look at that. It's amazing, right? Humerville didn't even dress out tonight, which makes their performance even more impressive. Because if they didn't get it done, we were going to be in a lot of trouble. Because we didn't have Bradford to play tackle, so it's big. Look at that scar. Look at that. Goodness, man. Dear Lord. Afraid for third down. Simplified everything. 6-4, 7 on third down. Okay, Sean getting a lot of double coverage. Up and Malik get open. Unbelievable. Big Al, what's up? Yeah, I think you gotta have to. Emory played well tonight. I'm not old school like you, Skipper. Is that how they used to treat black guys? You put the steak on there. I've never had a black eye. I did have a baseball right here. God bless. I love that. He's gritty, man. Well, all right. We have reached this point in the live stream, the 2-hour point. Going ahead. In the next 5 minutes, I'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. But if you want to keep this party moving, I will happily do that. If you keep super chat, we'll keep this party moving. I got something on my face. What is that? Piece of fuzz. Seth, that's a good question. So I'll tell you a little bit about my process. So I go back and I rewatch the game, and obviously, the offensive side of the football is more important than the defensive side of the football. So, I'll go through and talk about the offensive side, obviously. But honestly, I think the defensive film study is going to be better. That obviously won us the game more than anything else. Matt House did. So, yeah. So Chris wants to see defense. Okay. We'll get some defense in there. Three Stooges. The Stooges. Florida hasn't thrown a passing TD? That's crazy. Yes. You got to stick with the same 5. Thank you, old vet. I appreciate it. We scored 31. Yeah, I got that right. Cheers. Yes. But I do need to rewatch to see like how many times. But yeah. I mean, that's part of who he is, though. He's a tuck and runner. I had a back and forth with a better film analyst than me, SEC StatCat, and he thinks Jayden tucks and runs quickly as well, but it's not a zero-sum game with him when he misses throws. Like, sometimes he'll run for a lot or he'll find something else. But yeah, he's got to start connecting on some of them. Yeah, Auburn's not a good team. I fully agree with you. They're just not good. I mean, they have the worst head coach, I feel, in the West. They have the worst OC-DC combo, I feel, in the West. And now that Max is starting at Texas A&M, I feel like they have the worst quarterback. That's just how I feel right now. So, yeah, I didn't get to watch TJ snaps. Maybe he played good and everything else wasn't good around him. That sometimes is the case. So I do want to bring something up really quickly. You guys can. Please go subscribe to the Power Hour SEC channel. Really appreciate if you guys did that. We are currently actually had a really good week over there. I thought it was going to take me a year to get to 1,000 subs. I want you guys to see this. With y'all's help, 528 subscribers. So the key number is 1,000. If I get to 1,000, I could start making some cheddar. So yeah, that would obviously be very nice. So yeah, Power Hour SEC, please go hit the subscribe button there. Don't forget. Also have RSS.com podcast Power Hour LSU. I am on Spotify. I am on iTunes. It's a completely different podcast, different than this one. So please go subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. I think it's on TuneIn as well. I don't know. I think iTunes and Spotify are the big ones, but you can also listen on RSS.com. It's a really cool looking website as well. And I need you to subscribe because, well, if you subscribe, it obviously helps me do that because I just do that free of charge. I actually lose money on the podcast, but had a lot of people say, you're not on Spotify. You don't do the iTunes stuff. So I do a completely different show on there than this one. So there you go. I don't like talking about transfers because a lot can change. And I also, when you start saying, hey, who can transfer, people always take it as that's who I want to transfer. I don't want anybody to transfer from LSU, especially knowing what our roster numbers are. Pegasus, that's one thing that's not my complete strength is the intricacies of cornerback coaching. It obviously depends. Like if you're trailing a guy, sometimes they'll tell you, hey, just read the receiver's eyes or their hands and try and break it up that way. But more often than not, DB coaches want you to turn your head and look for the ball. The issue is that it's hard to do that. It just is. It seems like it's easy, but it's not. I think Max was going the entire time. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for making this the absolute best. I was shocked. I did not think we would have over 200 freaking viewers pretty much throughout this live stream. That was pretty cool. I'm just blessed to be able to do this. So thank you guys so much for making, my dreams come true. I really appreciate it. We did have not one, not two, but 3 newbies join the PHL Patreon. That was absolutely phenomenal. I really appreciate it. Really quickly here, some final numbers. I normally do this a little bit earlier in the stream. Okay. So if you look here, we really did win this game. We outgained them by nearly 150. Pass yards were about the same, which is kind of crazy to think about. Rush yards, we obviously did that, and we have way more penalties. And we were way better on third down, 3 for 14. So yeah, this was just big. It's just such a fun win for us. Okay. There's obviously bigger ones out there. So we'll see. It is. Oh, hold on. Michael B said, wait. I didn't wait for Michael B last time. So I'll wait. You might super chat and keep it going. I don't mind hanging out for a little bit longer. It's fine. I still got a good drink. Yeah, we'll be chatting in the Discord all night. LA Mom, I sent you a DM. And let me see. I sent you a DM on Discord, LA Mom, and that should be able to help you get all set up. All right, Michael B, I'll wait for you. I'm just chilling. I don't mind hanging out. I normally stay up all night tonight anyway. We've been doing all this late night talking. Now you're in my life. Let's see here. Daughters at homecoming dance. Nice. There you go. You get the low def cam. What's up, Landon? JD for Heisen? There's Michael B. I'll throw a shameless plug out there. Need a fence for my pups. Police threaten them for barking at 2 Karens. Okay. I'm sorry to laugh at that. I just love the phrase Karens. I'll share one day why I like the phrase Karen so much. Fence guy quoted me at 6.2K. Well, YouTube won't let me link my GoFundMe, but get over to Discord and I can. There you go. So there you go. If you are in the Discord, you'll be able to access Michael's GoFundMe. I don't know why they're not letting you post your GoFundMe link in here. And yeah. I love you. I just love the phrase Karens. I just do. I don't know why that phrase is just so great. It was a hundo for the pups if YouTube had let me link it. Where am I got Michael B? I don't care if it was $5. Well, we'll hang out. Michael B wants to hang out for a little bit. So if he super chats, I'll hang out. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you guys want to watch a game? We did this at the end of a live stream last week. We could watch a game. Let me. How do I feel about Florida, the state or the team? I can't say anything about South Florida. I didn't watch the game. I think the final was 31-28 last I looked. Yeah, post your link. How do I feel about the Gators? I think Billy's going to win big there. I do. I think he's a good fit there. The way they're recruiting, they're definitely going to win. Obviously, the recruiting battle for DJ Lagway is going to be big. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I don't know, Pegasus, you want me to wake up Haley? And she'll tell you all about it? This is a hard thing if you're Arkansas, right? You had 2 non-cupcakes to start your year. So week 3 was always going to be a letdown spot. They shouldn't have looked that bad. And, I mean, Bobby's tricky. Bobby is very, very tricky. So, yeah. Yeah, Harold's phenomenal. Not really surprising. And look, part of why I don't talk about him more is like it kind of sounds like I'm not bragging, but it's just like kind of confirming my priors, right? He's special. He is truly a transcendent level talent. And he just makes a lot of things happen. And I think one thing that he does on the field that I knew immediately from watching his high school tape for the first time. He's got such a high grade. Ever since I've been doing like closer evaluations of players, and that's more of like in the last 3 years. Like, and by players I mean like high school prospects, because I used to be the most anti-recruiting guy in the world. And I still sort of am. Recruiting is not my favorite thing. But when I went and looked at his tape, I knew I was witnessing something. It wasn't really like Emory Jones, where I was like, okay, this guy's going to be a big-time offensive lineman for us. When I watched Harold Perkins, I didn't know what I was watching. I just know when I was watching him, I was looking at a big-time star, right? I didn't know. I was like, I don't know if his best position is running back. I don't know if he's a safety. I don't know if he's an edge player. I don't know if he's a linebacker. Just put him on the field and see what happens. And, he causes a lot of confusion because he's got ball skills. He's got pass rushing skills. He's got a motor, plays really hard. He is faster than the quarterback he's playing against every single time. And last year, we really didn't have that kind of guy, right? He's just a fluid, special type of player. And you guys know I don't like using special, but there was 3 players in this class, once again, not including Walker Howard, that I had the special grade for, that 100,000% they're going to be really good at LSU. And that was Will Campbell, Harold Perkins, and Emory Jones, right? And they're just great football players, right? And I thought all 3 of them were year 1 guys. I have a ton of receipts on that. You can watch all the videos if you want to. But yeah, he's just great. He's just great. Emory Jones and Harold Perkins had a little bit higher than Will Campbell, but all 3 of them are just really good football players. And sometimes, with Harold Perkins, it was kind of a leap of faith for me, though, because I didn't know what he was going to do. And we still honestly don't know what his ceiling is really going to look like. Is he Devin White? Is he something else? I don't know. Pitts. Yeah, it's Pitts. Bowers is interesting because he's still got a year. And I think Mayer's okay. I just don't think he's the same level of athlete as the other two. It's a good question, LA Mom. As far as like LSU commits are concerned, I would just say Shelton. Up to this point, I would just say Shelton. And honestly, Zalance as well. But in fairness, their senior years aren't done yet. And that does play a role in my eval and how I look at them. I'll also say this as well, and this is going to sound like a broken record, especially if you're in the Discord. Xavier Thomas also got a special grade for me. And that was Mississippi State's punt returner who killed us tonight. I don't know what Leach is thinking. I would find a way to get him the football more. He had a really high grade for me. And once again, I had 1,000 live streams on this. I talked about it all this week on videos. Xavier Thomas is a really good wide receiver. I wasn't in love with the wide receivers in Louisiana this crop. I just wasn't. So that's why I didn't have like a total freak out when Chaz Preston and all those guys went to Alabama. Xavier was the only guy that I was like, God, I really hope LSU offers him. And once again, we're LSU. The special receivers are going to find LSU all the time. But Xavier's really, really, really good football player. So yeah, but my eval's different. He was a 3-star or a lower level 4-star, depending on where you're looking. But yeah, to me, he had an exceptionally high high grade for me. Malik, yeah. And look, Malik was tough because, he didn't really, it was a Rona eval, right? Malik's a really good football player. And I'm glad I was wrong about the JoJo Earl thing. That's a good question. Mike wants to talk about Texas A&M in the portal. Let's do it. Take a look at some of these. God, these late games suck. Okay, come on, Fresno. Jake Hayner, let's go. When you're not winning, things like this happen. Something else I really liked about Harold Perkins. So I did some research on this, right? And some people kind of viewed him as like a diva, but I kind of didn't. I got some good intel that this kid works hard and wants to be great. So I said, okay, that's all I need to know. The thing about Texas A&M is they recruited a lot of guys, but the problem is if your offense isn't modernized, you're going to be left in the dust. And yes, Appalachian State is kind of the team this year in college football. They had game day today. They went on the Hail Mary. as miraculous of a Hail Mary as you're going to see. They beat Texas A&M. Then they had the game of the week in week 1. You got the Luke Combs thing going. You got all these different things, right? But you shouldn't have lost to them. And what's very interesting about A&M is most true freshmen suck. They just do, right? You normally have like 2 or 3 of them. Now, LSU is very lucky that they have some bona fide stars. Mason Taylor had a rough game, but, like I said, I like Mason a lot coming out. I did. But, true freshmen are going to have bad games. And tonight was kind of tough for him. When I rewatch, we'll see what happens. But when you have a team that's like loaded with a lot of these true freshmen, and A&M's got a lot of talent that are year 2, year 3 kind of guys, it just becomes a little laissez-faire, if you will. Things just become a little loose, and that's not good. And if you bring in too many 5 stars, I guess I could feel a little entitled. I got to be honest. One thing that I don't get, and I brought this up recently on a live, I think it was this week, the speeding stuff. Chris was talking about this in the Discord. That kills people. Like, if anybody was getting out of their car, or they're getting just like a suitcase out of the trunk of their car, they die. They die. Or they're seriously hurt. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Shout out to Xavier. I was too, Michael Bain. Look, he still can turn out to be great. He's been very hurt this year. But Malik's a better player. And that's the beauty of it, man. The Louisiana animal. Malik's better. Malik's really good. Stetson Bennett. Yeah, I thought that was crazy as well. I think if a player is risking not only other people's lives but his own, if you're driving that fast in a parking garage, I mean, anything can happen. Anything. But yeah. Stroud, I could see it. Isn't that crazy? The third phase of the game, baby. Oh, this is crazy. This guy is about to hit a 25 leg parlay off a $7 wager. Okay, wait. So Michigan State and Washington have to go over. Okay, what was the final score? Oh, it went over. Okay. So now A&M, oh, this guy is sweating $1 million. Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get it, dude. Are you freaking kidding me? He let it ride, dude. He freaking let it ride. He freaking let it ride. Oh, my God. He could have cashed out $300K. He let it ride. Okay, I'll show it to you right here. Okay. Dude is going to make $1 million off a $7 parlay. Okay, so he had Texas A&M. If A&M doesn't have like a pick six or something like that, they got to hold on here. They got to cover 6.5. So the overhit in Michigan State, and then it was Michigan minus 48.5. Syracuse, he had Syracuse on the money line. They won on a last second throw. No way. Coastal money line. You see, so a lot of these are like clear money line bets. Okay, Old Dominion plus 8.5. Tulane won outright. Oh man, Penn State money line, Ole Miss money line. This is insane. Vanderbilt money line over Northern Illinois. So Vanderbilt cleared their over/under win total 4 games in. Wisconsin, over Wisconsin would over the total on their own. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild, dude. Oh my God. A&M's got to hold on. 6.5. Okay, so Miami's got it. Is that game on ESPN? Okay. Please hold on, Miami. We're gonna sweat this out with whoever this is. Miami's. That's okay, Michael B. I'm gonna finish out this game and then probably wrap it up. Let's see here. Dalton, what's good? Oh, Miami has the chance for a comeback. Jared, but I want this person to win the 1.5 million or whatever, the $1 million. A $7 25-way parlay. Let's go. I sometimes wonder though if the sports books make that money back on like $25 parlays. 3-man rush on third. Oh, he's in bounds. Now you got to go for it on fourth. Hurry, give him the football. Give him the football. I'll take a shot. You got single high on that coverage. Oh, he dropped it. He doesn't wear single digit, so it's okay. And the cover hits. What? Oh, okay. I thought they were giving him a first. The dude let it ride. I don't care if I'm sitting there hitting 23 of the 25 legs of the parlay to win 300K of the 1 million. I don't know if I'm letting that ride. I'm taking that 300K. There's no way I could sweat a life-changing amount of money on Jimbo Fisher's Aggies. $1 million off a $7 bet. $1 million. $1 million. Max Johnson getting the dub? All right, Max Johnson, superstar stats here. 10 of 20 for 140 and a tutty. 7 carries for 23 yards. They got a dub. A&M still alive in the SEC, baby. Oh my God, Jimbo's son. If you're that old, you don't get to be in the interview and you're wearing that chain. What is that? I you know what's funny, Pegasus? I thought when people were saying, "Hey, let's get Max back," I thought he was balling. I thought the over was going to. I was wrong on this. I thought they were going to move the football. Oh, the yell leaders. The yell leaders. Go watch Kyle Long's video. he's not even a hurricane. That's funny. He said, "I want you to shut." Oh man, life is great. Oh man, that's so funny. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you for making this live stream so much fun. Thank you to Michael B with that very generous super chat. Thanks again to our top super chatters of the evening. That is Jason. That is Van. All our new PHL patrons. It's obviously really cool as well. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to order some more hats. What is it? What should my bill level be? This bill kind of got screwed. Wonky jawed. Hats kind of cozy though. Yeah. Wait, is this son really 30? This is so great. Jimbo's son is 30. Come rolled up with the Oh man, I love it. Oh man. What the hell is up with that? What is that? That's funny. Huh? Curve to the temple, so I should curve it. How do I get this little weird bend out of it though? Is this hat just done? What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. It's been a while. But yeah, enjoy this W. I'll be chatting in the Discord, and let's cut up some film. We'll see you tomorrow night for a film study. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Let's go, Jayden. Let's go, Harold Perkins. Let's go, Matt House. Brian Kelly getting your first SEC win. And tonight, let's get into some double stuff Oreos. Let's go. Let's go.